everybody, and welcome to Who Will Be King, the only NFC North show that actually matters. It's your boy Dave from Vikings First and Skull. Sitting here with me is Pay, whose Chicago Bears are still one top 30 visit away from their first winning season since dial-up internet. And Foster, the Lions guy, who's convinced one playoff win makes them a dynasty. We'll find out. We got fresh team news, the Vrabel Russini hot tub circus, all the draft smoke, the 2027 pick hoarding truth bombs, and a full 7-round mock that's going to hurt some feelings. So grab your drink. Vikings fans, get cocky. Everybody else, get ready to cope. Let's roll this thing. Begin. I don't know if you noticed, but Chris said we're about 1 week away from the Packers getting their first loss of the year. As they wait till pick 52. Unless they're going to try to trade up into the first, which would be shocking.
With what? With what assets?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Love's unborn child?
Could be. Could be. All right. Let's first start off with the news. NFC North news. And Pay, welcome yourself, or say hello to everybody, and tell us what's happening in Chicago.
What's up, gang? Chicago, nothing much. Everything is quiet all on the lakefront. Chicago's being cool, being very coy about their plans for next Thursday. It's a little weird. I don't like it being this quiet.
It's smoke season, as I promoted at the beginning. We're getting a whole lot of misdirection, I believe. And it's hard to believe what is true and what is not, and silence is one of those misdirections. Is there any stadium update?
No stadium update.
That's not what I saw. I saw a report from the Chicago Tribune that has the NFL's stadium committee meeting next week, the week of the 27th, the week after that, to get an update from your Bears as to the status of that new team stadium. And from what I gather, it looks like some of the old timers. You've got owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have Mark Wilf, and there's a couple other ones that are like, come on, Chicago, get your act together. Let's get this new stadium built. Now, Kevin Warren says he expresses optimism. Well, that's Kevin's job, I believe, but we'll see. They're waiting on lawmakers in Springfield, and hopefully, what is it, by the end of May?
31st is when the legislative session ends. I assume that the Bears are paying money to get some type of news early. That is what a good rich person would do. I mean, if I had type of money, I would be paying to get all type of information early. What do they call that? Insider trading. Yes, the cow sheet. I will be paying to keep my cow sheet funded. So I would assume that Kevin Warren will be making a statement about where they're going to put the shovels in the ground sometime in the next, today's the 15th, 30 days.
Okay. Foster, what are you hoping for? Staying in Chicago or moving to Hammond, Indiana?
I mean, it would be fun.
Well, they're not going to be in Chicago.
Well, at the racetrack.
Yeah. I hope for the best for them, whatever Chicago wants. And I'm assuming that's not Indiana or anywhere else.
We'll see. We'll see.
No Indianimals.
The Hammond Huggables. I always like that one. All right. I'm not seeing very much else in the way of news. Everybody's doing mock drafts. The latest mocks are coming out. The last set of mocks are coming out. Boards are solidified. You've got Dane Brugler of The Athletic did his The Beast, where he's got like 5,000 players all graded. And that's an exaggeration. So just to let people know, but there are a lot of players in The Beast. And you've got more and more stuff coming out. We'll get into the draft. Now, Foster, how are things in Detroit?
Things are going well. Obviously, actually, Brett Holmes addressed the media. So, of course, there was a hot topic about the draft as far as his steady, best player available philosophy, and, saying that he doesn't like to reach. Of course, the media asked, he talked about that bad feeling that you get when you reach on a player and then they don't pan out. And it's like, why did I wasn't excited about this player anyway. The media, of course, took an opportunity to say, well, have you ever done that before? And he said, oh, no. I'm just saying that if you were to, it would be, it would be a bad place to be.
As his nose grew.
Right. Yeah. And he loves to, he's kind of, he's a bit of an a-hole. Like, he loves to poke at the media and talk. And when the topic of premium positions came up, he said, well, I'm sure you guys know what a premium position is because, they give him hell about the edge rusher position. But he also said that, that he feels that, Larry Borum and DJ Wanham are both starter caliber players that they signed in the offseason, which kind of leans into they're like, so don't think that just because, I brought in, DJ or Larry that that means that I'm going to necessarily go right tackle or edge rusher first. It's going to be, still going to come down to, who they like the best. And they even talked about would you be open to drafting players who were previously injured, such as Jamison Williams? Obviously, he missed all or most of his first season due to injury. So the hot topic lately has been the corner out of Tennessee. His name is Jermone McCoy. So yeah, with the cornerback situation being kind of shaky and the Terrion Arnold, court case, being uncertain, that's been the hot topic as of late is, would they take a Jermar McCoy who missed all of last season with a torn ACL, but he's also got top 10 talent. And hey, we don't really have we have a CB1, but do we really have one that we're confident in and moving forward? Well, DJ Reed is more of a CB2, and Terrion Arnold is a former first round pick, but hasn't panned out all the way. So that's been the hot topic: is could the Lions go corner after edge rusher and right tackle has been looked at as the more pressing position at this point?
Well, you got how many edge rushers on the team right now? You got
we brought
Hutchinson. Wanham.
We have Ahmed Hassanin, who we drafted last year as in the fifth round as a project guy, but he was hurt all of last year with a torn pec. And then we went out and got, I think, DJ Turner, who's also pretty injury prone as well. So pretty much outside of Hutch, who has missed a vast amount of 1 year with the injury as well. A bunch of guys that have battled injuries.
So instead of a edge rusher, you need to draft a medic.
A good doctor, good trainer, like whatever that costs, spend the max on him or her.
Her, yes.
That guy with the cowboy hat that's always on the field when you watch the Cowboy games. I think he's got to be like the best team doctor there is in the NFL, right? I mean, because he gets the most TV time. All I know is I see that cowboy hat on the field all the time. Like, okay, Buddy must be getting paid. I wonder if he's available to get traded.
Talking about the orthopedic surgeon.
Does he wear a cowboy hat? And he's always at the
I don't. But he was the first one to do knee rebuilds that actually took.
Are you talking about James Andrews?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
about. Yeah, no. He's for the streets. Everybody can go see him.
Okay.
Oh, he wears a suit, though?
Yeah, he wears a suit and a cowboy hat. If you watch a Cowboy game, you're going to see him at least 3 times. He's got to be the guy, the doctor for all NFL teams. I would trade a first round pick for him.
So, anyways, we'll move on to the team we love to hate. And Brian Gutekunst had his pre-draft presser, and he's talking about he really likes the guys they brought in for the top 30. And it's like, well, great. Happy for you. You hope you would. We'll find out. It's going to be interesting. Matt LaFleur said they both played for Gannon, new DC Jonathan Gannon, who are we talking about? One of the guys they brought in on Moore. But anyways, that's about it in Wisconsin. They're all draft focused. Day 2, of course, not day 1, but day 2. And we'll see how that goes. They're talking about upgrading Lambeau Field, which should be interesting, how they plan on doing that, whether it's the grass or the stadium. But most people here don't.
They can upgrade it by throwing it away.
Yeah. Most people here don't pay a whole lot of attention to Green Bay unless we're beating them, which happens frequently. When's the last time they won a game?
It's been 123 days, Dave, since they can call themselves winners.
Okay. Just checking. And then we have the Minnesota Vikings news. And in it, we're still arguing over J.J. McCarthy. And there's been all sorts of stuff coming out, possible trade to the Rams. And we're trying to educate our viewers that it's not a report. It's a speculation that it may happen. And that is not, hey, I'm Vacciano from Fox, and I'm saying the Vikings are going to trade J.J. McCarthy to Sean McVay and the Rams. His best friend, Kevin McConnell's going to do him a solid. No, we're not saying that. This is what he speculated, like sort of we do when we come up with draft scenarios and such. But it got the fan base all in a tizzy for a little bit. It is what it is. We re-signed Jalen Redmond yesterday. Our damn fine defensive tackle. He was on an exclusive free agent tag. We re-signed him, which is good. And let's see what else. And we're just preparing for the draft like everybody else. We have not had a pre-draft conference from Brzezinski or KOC yet, but that'll probably come next week. There's also a rumor that the Vikings may be interested in cornerback Kenny Moore from Indianapolis as a possible trade target. Well, we'll see if that develops anything. I don't think it will, but we'll see. But it's just, we're all getting ready for the draft. So it's been relatively quiet. It is what it is. Now, there was some news this last week we want to touch upon, and that is Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel. It came out of the owners' meeting. I'm trying to remember the newspaper that saw it. The Post.
Yeah, New York Post.
New York Post.
New York, the arch enemy of the New York Times.
And shot a whole bunch of pictures. Now, the pictures are relatively innocent. They just show the two of them together. Vrabel hugging Russini in one of them. Them holding hands in another. Them sitting side by side in a poolside chairs at the pool at this private resort. And it brought up a whole lot of questions. Why would a top-of-the-line NFL reporter get so close to the subject she's reporting on? Foster, why do you think she did it?
Maybe he has some nice cologne on. She just wanted a closer smell of it.
Could be.
Now, you know goddamn well. None of them Boston dudes smell like anything you want to smell again.
Back to the clam chowder.
Yes.
Maybe it was the clam chowder.
But it drew a lot of questions, and the New York Times is still investigating it, even though Dianna Russini resigned as of yesterday, I believe it was. And she says they were there with different sets of friends, and they just met up, and they were chatting and having a good time. However, none of the pictures show any of the other friends. None of the other friends that I've heard have been reported to say, yeah, she was here, we were drinking with the girls, or whatever it was. And so, George, no, I need to get some, but I have not gotten any lately, speaking of Boston. Last year, we went through it on Vikings side with Dianna Russini saying everything she did and insisting on Aaron Rodgers is going to the Vikings. right? And it was just, she hammered it and hammered it, hammered it and hammered it. The sources she has told her this. Well, now it makes you wonder, what sources does she have? How does she get those sources? Is she being unethical about them? Now, is it unethical to sleep with some other person when you're both married? It's not right, but no, that's not technically, I don't believe, unethical. But when you are reporting on that and using that to get information, that's where it crosses the line. And she's been putting down her husband for a couple years now.
What you mean putting it, like verbally
on podcast saying he's a dork, he's mediocre. She said, I'm getting a divorce by the end of the year.
Wow.
That he's just, his looks are mediocre.
He is kind of dorky.
And it's just like, well, Dianna, if you looked in the mirror, but it's a shame because her marriage is down the crapper. Her career looks to be at least on hiatus, and she won't be working for the New York Times. Whether ESPN will take her back or not, I don't know. If Diana's watching, we'll have you on. I'm open. I like talent like that. But it sure did give a bad taste, or put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, my opinion. Hey, even Mike Vrabel didn't come out for the pre-draft pressure for New England. He's hiding. Any opinion, Pay?
I've got two. I'm start with, I got two opinions. One is a kudos, and the other one is a condemnation. My favorite TV show all time is The Wire. And even though all seasons are a masterpiece, season 5 had a subplot of the newsroom from a Baltimore newspaper, right? And that's how we get into this kudos. Learn something from that show, that ethics is important. So salute to the New York Times. In this day and age where media is, I guess, over-scrutinized, fairly or unfairly, and majority of people all over the world, not just this country, they have a general distrust of the news, what's getting reported, who's reporting it, how they getting their sources, fill in your blanks. Even though in this modern time, you got going through all of that, the New York Times is still standing on business, still standing 10 toes down, is that we have the highest form of ethicals possible for what we do. And that's everybody, even the people that don't work directly for us, because they own The Athletic, where Dianna Russini was a senior insider. I pay my $70 some odd dollars every year to get The Athletic yearly subscription. I've been doing it since The Athletic came out. I enjoy The Athletic. I love The Athletic. So that's my journalistic transparency. And I enjoyed Dianna while she was there. I loved all her content. I loved the inside information she had. I thought she covered things with a good sense of fairness. But what I love more is a journalistic entity that has scruples. Like I said, in this day and age where scruples is for sale, where you can actually question, like, okay, why is this person telling me this? Why is this person telling me that? And what is the point of all this? Even on something as unserious as sports. Like I said, transparency earlier, a journalist got to be transparent. They can't have an agenda with what they're reporting. They have to have an independence from their sources, which we're talking about. You can't have a quid pro quo. You can't trade favors for stories. That's against your journalistic integrity. So I don't know if Dianna is guilty of cheating on her husband or not. I've listened to her on podcasts, my 3 favorite sports podcasts. She's a regular contributor there, not contributor, but regular guest. So I've heard what she said about her husband and her sons, Joey and Mike. They're always up to shenanigans and things like that. But it's played up for laughs for the most part. But like I said, I don't know if she's actually cheating on her husband with Mike Vrabel, but at least she's guilty of one of those journalistic tenets that I mentioned. And in the eyes of the public, the people who consume her work and her former employer rather, it's cause for concern. It's a cause to be investigated, to say the least. But the second part I had about this, and this is the biggest part that I took issue with the whole situation, is Dianna and her having to resign this whole thing. She resigned due to being harassed, as she said in her in her statement. She resigned due to being harassed. If you're on X, you read the comments. I'm not really on X. I'm a Threads guy. So she resigned due to harassment, due to basically a professional and personal courtesy to her family. But no one's talking about Mike Vrabel really in this, and that's where that's what my concern is. The manosphere in this day and age is hard at work. People are taking this topic, and it's largely about Dianna, and totally missing and making Mike a subplot. He's a main character in this. He's not just some dude over there. Mike is the head coach of the New England Patriots, the defending AFC Conference champion. He is a part of the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Bill Belichick, whose whole big claim to fame is not to be a distraction, right? What other distraction can you even imagine that is bigger than this for a coach? You're supposed to be doing draft prep. You're supposed to be scouting and all the other minutia that's leads you into the off season. But no, you got all this circling around your Foxborough, and he's been quiet on it. No one's really bringing that to his front door. No one's bothering him. No one's kicking down his doors. It's just Dianna. In my opinion, BS. Whatever Dianna did or did not do is not reaching Mike, and that's a big, hard M in this whole story. That M is misogynistic. You got butt heads out there like Clay Travis and others. They're saying this is a bad example. She's being a bad example for women in sports and making it a reason that women shouldn't be covering sports as altogether. Again, whatever Dianna did or didn't do has no bearing on the good or bad work of any other woman in this industry. But like I said, those certain people who shouldn't have microphones to begin with, they got their heads so far up their culo that their misogyny is falling all over their cameras and their keyboards. In fact, example, on this show we talked about it. Adam Schefter, about a year or so ago, we got him in 4K Ultra HD asking an NFL executive, I forgot which executive it was, I think it may have been for the Commanders, asking him how a particular story should be written. How do you want me to break this news that you just gave me? But I don't remember anybody, not ESPN or none of these other talking heads, asking about his journalistic integrity. No one asking about, whether or not he should be suspended, an investigation should be filed or anything like that. No one's asking about his job whatsoever. He just signed a bigger extension. He's getting paid more for what he does. But when Dianna has to step down because there's some pictures floating around out there with zero context, leads to questions, right? Gus Haynes from the season 5, he told you need a lot of context to seriously examine anything in this world. Obviously, you don't. Not in this day and age.
Yeah, the court of public opinion is the thing before anybody ever gets the context and all that type of stuff. And it's definitely the double standard of, women. When women are in the wrong, it's looked at. When women, it takes two to tango, but when a woman is involved, there's a different precedent that's held for them, and they're looked at totally different than a man that's stepping out on the relationship. And that's pretty clear. I mean, the only difference between Mike Vrabel and Urban Meyer is that Urban Meyer never won anything at the NFL level. And Mike Vrabel was just in the Super Bowl because they were both kind of off the clock, not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, and it's just like quality players, somebody that's a 6th or 7th rounder or UDFA, if he can't make it to practice on time, he gets cut, right? If Jordan Addison skips out and supposedly his cell phone runs out of juice and he's missing from practice and they're sending out the cops to look for him,
drag racing,
he gets
Autobahn.
He gets, a slap on the wrist and suspended for 1/4 of a game because he's too important. You think a Super Bowl head coach, not winning, losing, gets you to the Super Bowl, just falls into that, bottom category of, well, you messed up, you're fired. No. Robert Kraft is going to be like, oh, bud, trust me. I've been there, done that. You're my head coach.
Been there, done that.
He's definitely been there. He's definitely done a lot of that. Or KHD.
But anyways, we lost somebody because we thought we were getting political. And it's like, I don't
think we ever did, but somebody else did.
But it is what it is. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. And we're back. And I want to thank everybody that went through that ad break. It helps pay for our niceties that we have here doing these shows. For me, it's my whiskey. For Pay, it's his Garrett's popcorn. And for Foster, it's occasional brewski. Now, let's talk the draft. Have you guys completed your top 30 visits? I believe the
Bears have completed theirs.
That is, it's allowed.
I believe the Bears completed theirs a day or so ago.
Let's see. I looked up who you guys had visiting. Caden McDonald, good defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Max Heinecker, offensive tackle. Zion Young, edge. Keaton Scott, cornerback. Dominique Orange, defensive tackle, big citrus. Brian Parker, Jager Burden, Dan Villari, Seth McGowan, James Brokermeyer, Deshaun Stribling, Jimmy Rolder, and Ontario Thompson, and Karen Prunty, cornerback, Wake Forest, K-A-R-O-N, K-Ron.
A-Ron. One of them related.
My brother's name is Aaron.
Foster, how'd your top 30 go? You done?
Yes, I believe as of today we are done. I feel like the lists are different no matter depending on where you go. But from what I can see, we saw DeMarcus Lacey out of Marshall, he's a wide receiver. Donovan McCulley out of Michigan. Tyree West from Tennessee. Caleb Banks from Florida. Jay Hunt, Cincinnati. Jimmy Rolder from Michigan, linebacker, and Andre Fuller out of Toledo. And they said that they opted not to have a local pro day this year. They just fell low in the priorities.
Well, because local schools within a certain mile radius or designate in an area, those don't count as the top 30. They don't count towards the 30. They're top 30 visits, but they don't count as the top 30. They're freebies, in other words. Just like anybody from the Gophers is a freebie for Minnesota. Any of the Minnesota State schools is a freebie. Even North Dakota State is a freebie. So we finished ours, I believe, and we've had, Anthony Hill, linebacker Texas, Jake Golday, linebacker Cincinnati, Emmett Johnson, running back Nebraska, Dominique Orange, big citrus, Jonathan Colt, our running back Washington, Daryl Jackson, nose tackle, Florida State, Ted Hurst, wide receiver Georgia. He's been getting a lot of press lately. He's 6'4". He ran like a 4.39 or something like that. 6'4", wide receiver. Oscar Delp, tight end Georgia. Damon Claiborne, running back Wake Forest. Deshaun Stribling, Lance Mason, Tristan Lay, Syaz Pete, offensive lineman, guard tackle, out of New Mexico State. I wonder how many pro players came out of New Mexico State and were good, just like UNM.
Urlacher could go there?
That's the first name I thought of.
Did he go there or UNM?
He went to New Mexico, probably not State. Lobo.
Yeah, that's UNM. New Mexico. That's at Albuquerque. New Mexico State's down in Las Cruces. Both are good schools, generally football schools for the
he went to the Lobo.
And we've got a few others. Wide receivers, running backs, one safety, Cole Wisniewski. He'll be a later round guy. But it's interesting to see that Mr. Thieneman, who we get mocked to incessantly, isn't on that list. And for the Cheese Weasels, what have they got? See, this one I'm finding interesting. Charles Deming, cornerback. Malcolm DeWalt, cornerback. DeArco Perkins, McAllister, cornerback. Karen Prunty, cornerback. Will Lee, cornerback. AJ Halsey, safety. Jacob Thomas, safety. Jaden Duggar, linebacker, edge. Romeo Height, edge. Michael Heldman, edge. TJ Quinn, linebacker, edge. Defensive lineman, they got a few. Offensive line, they got a couple. And they haven't even got a quarterback. Baron Morton, QB out of Texas Tech.
Should they their 30 visits been reduced since they don't even have they don't even have a first round pick? I mean,
you would think, but they could trade up.
What assets?
2027.
I think the Packers are just wasting everybody's time. They don't even have a first round pick next year.
Really? Well, maybe, second, third, fourth.
They are eternally wasting everybody's time. They waste everybody's time every Sunday during the fall and winter. And they're wasting everybody's time now.
I agree with you, Pay. I don't disagree, but they always seem to have a fair to Midland team.
We should have put them on that Artemis rocket, left them on the other side of the moon.
And left them there. But it is what it is. It's real simple. All we got to do is take Jordan Love out and their record will be, but not that we physically encourage somebody to pull on.
No.
Bar versus what's his face? Quarterback.
We're going to handle it on the field. 123 days since they've been a winner.
Yep. And speaking of Mr. Barr, he's doing a podcast now, by the way, if for Vikings fans are curious.
Linebacker?
Yep. Anthony Barr.
So, you're a nobody if you don't have a podcast nowadays.
Basically. And it's especially when you're retired.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah. No, it is what it is. Now, like I said, it's smoke season. We're getting a lot of information or disinformation. What was it, today or yesterday? We hear the top 10 teams are real interested in trading back, but can't find anybody to trade up. And the reason is, and with the top 10 teams, I doubt Vegas is in that group. They're going to take their quarterback and run. But the whole reason is, one, the quality of this draft seems to be low. There's no bountiful crop of blue chippers. You're not going to get Pro Bowlers from 1 to 32 in the first round. There just isn't that many good players that are coming out. And a bunch of them are at non-premium positions, no less. Now, do you want a safety that becomes a Pro Bowler? Yes, you do. They're important. Do you want a tight end that becomes a Pro Bowler? Yes, you do. They're important. But are they worth drafting in the first round when the majority of them don't? Center. You may need a center. But do you take one when the highest ranking ones in the group are all rated as third rounders? No, you don't. So the top 10 teams or top teams want to trade down. Well, that would mean somebody would want to trade up. The question is, what do they want to trade up for? Do they want to trade up for a running back? Possibly. Would they want to trade up for Sonny Styles in a heartbeat? You got some true blue chippers up there, but is a team willing to do that? And what would it cost them? I'm hearing just about every team in the league wants to trade and build up their 2027 picks. So if Green Bay wants to trade into the first round, they're going to have to cough up most of their 27 draft picks for somebody to do that. Let's see if it happens. And they're screwing themselves. Why I say 2027 is because 2027, the draft is supposed to be heavy when it comes to quality.
You've convinced me, Dave.
Top to bottom. And I know we've all heard that a year out. Next year's is going to be great. But it's theoretically is. I know the Vikings, when they were planning, Kwesi and KOC came in, they were looking at drafts further out. And they planned on getting J.J. McCarthy when they did, because they expected a lot of quarterbacks in that draft. And there weren't. He was the 5th one picked in the top 10. And there's 2 others that got picked, or more than 2 others that got picked, and that have started. This year, you have Mendoza, who's going to eventually get the starting job in Vegas. I'm betting they start Kirk Cousins to begin the season, to take the young man under his arm and say, hey, we'll do this. We'll learn. We'll bring you up slowly. And then about 6-8 games in, they'll switch. Unless Kirk's falling out. Yeah, sort of.
I think there's some real fire behind that Ty Simpson smoke, man. You never know.
And the other one that could possibly go in the first round is Ty Simpson. Everybody's going like, most people are like, man, he's a 2nd or 3rd rounder, and nobody's saying Mendoza's a blue chipper. He's just the only decent quarterback. And Ty Simpson could go, I could see in the early 20s, Pittsburgh, somebody like that. Somebody's going to say, hey, no, we see a lot in him. He's got the traits. We're going to take him and develop him.
The rare quarterback prospect that can go anywhere between 1 and the 4th round.
Shador.
AFC North is funny sometimes.
Speaking of which, who's starting for the Browns this year?
If you ask me, the logical, the sensible decision would be the same guy who started the most of the games last year, Shador Sanders. You build on what you have. But we're talking about the Browns. So watch Deshaun get pushed. And that makes less sense than a fish with feet. I would never be able to understand that. If Deshaun Watson has anything close to a snap in a Cleveland Browns jersey in 2026, I'm done. They're not serious people. You all watch Succession, right? The Browns are the kids. They're not serious people.
I mean, the logic would be to let the guy that you paid all the money to at least give it a shot, right?
He's got the money already. He's got it already.
Yeah.
You might as well.
There's
How
nothing
much
return that value.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to be any worse.
How much worse are you going to be versus should?
How about this? You understand? I think even though we haven't seen Deshaun Watson be good in a long time, since pre-pandemic, that's how long it's been.
Yeah, since Houston.
It's been that long, Foster. Time is flying. We still think he's probably better than Shador Sanders, right?
Mm-hmm. Damn, you're right.
Why would you want to be even a fraction better with what you have coming up in 2027? Even if Deshaun Watson, of course, tanking is
the coaches want to compete.
Is that as beneficial as in basketball?
What do you mean? Parity. NFL legislates parity. The turnaround project is yearly, is cyclical. Every team goes first to worst every year. That's only one aspect. If I think Deshaun Watson's the better prospect, I bench him. I bench him because I will prefer to be even worse. The second thing is, I already got this young kid who's cheap. Shador Sanders is cheap. I drafted him in the 6th round. I'm going to play him and see what I've got. Because it's a 2-win. It's double the win if he's actually could be a starter. Why would I? And the last thing is, Deshaun Watson got all the money already. There's not going to be an ROI. There's no return on investment. It's not going to happen. Because let's say he is good. Again, let's say he is good. He figures it out. Again, it's been a long time. There's no reason to believe he will be good. But let's say he is good. Do I got to re-sign him? Do you see the quarterback market? Do you see what the contract I gave him the first time? I'm not doing that. No. There's no reason for me to put him out there. He is going to sit on his bench, get that paycheck, and go F off somewhere. That is what's going to happen.
Speaking of contracts, we saw a big one come out yesterday. I'm trying to remember his name. He's edge rusher for the Houston Texans, opposite of Danielle Hunter. Even after Danielle got his big contract, got it for $50 million per.
I missed that. Someone's getting paid big bread, huh?
It's now the largest non-quarterback contract ever.
Money.
And they've got Danielle on the other side making good money too. And they've got both of them So they got the edge rushers.
I'm glad they're not chasing my quarterback this year.
Now, if their quarterback goes back to his rookie form and starts winning ball games, they'd be all right.
I think the last thing we saw out of Mr. Stroud is closer to the real Mr. Stroud than rookie Mr. Stroud. Jesus, that game was bad. That was a terrible game.
All right, now it's time. Let's walk. All right, here we go. I'm going to use A to Z's mock, which they built this year. It's absolutely very good. There's improvements they're still working on, and some won't hit till next year. But I've selected all 4 of the NFC North teams. The only rules I will state is that Green Bay selects from their top 30 list, or at least their visit list. So we can't select a punter for them in the second round as much as we'd want.
They could use it.
I'm sure they could.
Their offense ain't going nowhere.
And Chris, no, we're not doing any trades.
Damn. I would love to trade back.
Suggestion. I've got AI suggestions on. For Detroit, we suggest Jermon McCoy, Olavega Ione, and Dylan Thieneman. But on the board, you have McCoy, Ione, Peter Woods, Thieneman, Concepcion, Lomo, Emmanuel McNeil. Anybody you like?
Ione that's a guard, or
That's a guard.
It's a guard.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 guard in the draft.
Surprised Baltimore passed him up.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, Lomo's a tackle. Yeah.
See who's the
Lomo's,
top
I think,
edge?
the 4th. I think Lomo's the 4th best tackle.
Who's the top what?
The top edge rusher, Mesidor. I think I picked Mesidor last time. We'll go Lomo.
Okay.
Lomo. I hate it, though.
Offensive tackle. Bada boom. Next up, my Vikings. They've
Go
got
ahead,
a
take
good guard. I could obviously go Dylan Thieneman like 98% of the mock drafts out there.
Hitman Harris.
I don't mind Peter Woods, Casey Concepcion. Tyler's a lot higher on him than I am. I think last time I picked Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I am going right here. Caden McDonald.
Why would you do that? Now, why would you do that? That is dirty.
Because we need a defensive
chess.
tackle next to Jalen Redmond. And Caleb McDonald has probably the best projection out of the class that I've seen. Let's see. Fig nuts. Vrabel won't be married for long. You never know, Figs. All right. For the Bears suggestion, we have Emmanuel McNeil Warren, TJ Parker, and
That's who I want.
Avion Terrell.
I'm gonna go ahead and take this safety out of Toledo, Mr. McNeil Warren. Versatile, playmaker. And like we spoke about earlier, we like versatile safeties who can maybe play linebacker. We have a history of that in Chicago. Put them in the Hall of Fame. And the white and the Oval Office, too, sometimes.
Uh-huh. No, I agree. It's too much to give up, Figs. Or to pass. All right. My team's on the clock. Manuel Pregnon, Zion Young, Jake Galladay. Let's see who else is on the board. Zion Young out of Mizzou. I'm going to skip the line. If I had taken defensive tackle, I'd have probably gone Hunter here.
Isn't the Mizzou guy right there in your neck of the woods? I think you have to take him, right? I mean, I think that's law.
That's law, yeah. But he's an edge. Unless we're trading one of our guys, I don't see it. Now, however, with Grenard being openly shopped, but nobody meeting the price, and Van Ginkel contracts up after next year, it might not be bad.
Sounds like a good transition plan to me.
To pair with Dallas Turner. But if we get him, he's going to get some snaps, but he won't start. Now the question is anybody here going to start? If I get Jake Galladay, linebacker from Cincinnati, let's see, what's his stats? Profile, 6'4". He's a big linebacker, 240 pounds. I like my linebackers with good size. I'm going Galladay.
All right,
here we go. This is for the Lions. Suggestions. Zion Young, Emmanuel Pregnon, and Lee Hunter. Top of the board is Zion Young, Pregnon, Lee Hunter. You got Malachi Lawrence. Going to get an edge.
Yeah, we'll go edge. We'll go Zion Young, I guess.
And we have the Green Bay Packers. Let's see. Let me bring up there who they had. See if we got anybody on the list.
We couldn't just sim their picks.
I could have.
Like we're doing Madden, just like sim to the offseason,
Could have.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Make AI do it.
Because
I think that's why we created AI, just to like get the stuff we don't want to do out the way.
Problem with that, one is this draft's already started, and two, I think AI would do a better job than they would.
We don't want that.
Remember, every year they always take somebody and we go, why did they draft him?
Robot don't know ball.
Let's see. I'm not seeing anybody. I don't see a wide receiver.
I got the Clippers winning tonight, FYI.
Clippers, what are they playing?
The Warriors.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I was 0 for 2 yesterday.
It's looking like, let's give them a wide receiver.
They can use that.
They just traded Wicks, or wasn't that Contagious Wicks?
All right, here we go. There's your suggestions. Moore, Rodriguez, and Stowers.
Is your orange man, is he still alive? Well, still around? Dominique Orange? Big Citrus?
Let's look. Yes, he is. Number 72.
Wow.
All right.
I would take him over. Grayson Halton has one of the season-leading sacks at defensive tackle, but he has some other issues.
So here I'm thinking about him, Big Citrus, or I'm thinking about that edge that they did just hint at me, Derek Moore. What about Christian Miller? Is he off the board too? Look like he's gone. Okay. Yeah, he's gone. All right. I'm fine with Big Citrus. Let's get old Big Dominique off the.
Okay, let's do that. And you're up again.
Let's go.
Suggestions: Derek Moore, edge; Josiah Trotter, linebacker; and Malachi Fields, wide receiver.
Were you a big A-Team fan back in the day, there, Dave?
Yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yes.
Bring me Derek Moore.
Derek Moore.
That's what she said.
More.
You doubled up at defensive line.
Derek Moore, edge.
Have you seen defensive line?
Round 3.
That's Jacob Rodriguez.
Vikings, Jalen Farmer, Traden Stukes, Jacob Rodriguez. Well, that's easy. I'm going Stukes. Safety. Green Bay, Jalen Farmer. Yes, got to be Farmer.
Because why not?
Yeah, he's going to Wisconsin.
Spitty.
Got to be a farm boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're up. You got suggested Josiah Trotter, Mike Washington, and Grayson Halton.
Okay.
Let's see. At the top of the list, Mike Washington, Josiah Joseph, Caleb Rutledge.
Right there.
Caleb Rutledge is still up there? Huh. No, okay. Can you scroll back up then? Yeah. Grayson Holden, that's interesting. But Caleb Rutledge, I didn't expect to see his name. I'm gonna go ahead and take my boy Grayson though. Give me Grayson.
More defense.
He fits the scheme a little bit better, so I'll take that.
I'm on
Cleveland traded
Bryce Lance, North Dakota State. What I like about this mock draft deal, as you can see, we've drafted already. Tends to help. Okay, got a linebacker, defensive tackle, safety. Let's go running. 4-3-3 second. I'll go this one. And Detroit's up.
Ooh.
Rutledge, Delp, Kevin Coleman.
I've been hearing Delp, but I'm curious.
Well,
we don't have
June would love it. Another tight end.
another tight end, but it's later because this is the 4th round.
Pick 1-8.
What's the best safety available? Probably nobody I've ever.
Daylon Kilgore, South Carolina.
I'll go Delp. Need a Laporta predecessor eventually, maybe. I don't know.
6'5", 245. Nice size. 4'4",
Can't lose to Georgia.
Nice. All right, here we go to Packers. K-Ron Crawford, Ezekiel Masses, Isaiah World. What do they need? They need cornerback, defensive tackle, offensive tackle, wide receiver, interior line. Already got one interior line. Let's go. Let's check out this dude. Nope, too late. I drafted him. You're on the clock, Foster. Suggested Kevin Coleman, wide receiver, Missouri. Billy Schroth, interior O-line, Notre Dame, and Tacario Davis, cornerback, Washington.
We'll go Davis, get a corner.
Yay. 6'4", nice size. And pay, here you go. Kayshawn Elliott, linebacker, Arizona State. Kevin Coleman, wide receiver, Missouri. Bill Schroth, interior O-lineman, Notre Dame. Are they suggested? Top of the board?
For me, this is the perfect area where you can draft your wide receivers. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Mr. Coleman there. We already have a Missouri wide receiver. We like him.
Burden.
Let's double back. Spin the block on that.
Bent.
All
right, Green Bay.
They got to go special teams here now, don't they?
Kicker. Long snap.
All right, we got, let's see, who do they got up here? We got a cornerback. They need a cornerback, don't they? Yeah, let's go Ezekiel Massis, press cover corner. Okay, here we go, Foster. Keyshawn Elliott, linebacker, Arizona State. Fernando Camargo, for center, Arkansas. And Jeff Caldwell, wide receiver, Indy, Cincinnati.
Elliott, we need a linebacker.
Okay.
Anzalone's gone.
Okay. Not too bad. Elite tackling vision. Defensive signal caller for 2 seasons. Strong run defender with play strength. Lacks coverage speed for all out down roles. Limited block shedding. All Big 12 team. Okay. Green Bay, here we go. They already got him a one receiver.
I thought I read somewhere that Green Bay needed a quarterback.
They do, but I'm going to give them an interior lineman. Minnesota's on the clock. Wide receiver.
You do?
Yeah. You need a wide receiver 4.
Sober one.
Huh?
Where the ass? USC?
Yep.
Spin the block, huh? Mm-hmm. Hopefully this one rides bicycles, though. Or has a lot of Uber points, one or the other.
Okay, here we go. Jeff Caldwell, 4'3", 140. Perfect 10 RAS. 6'5". Elite deep threat, prototypical frame.
23. Old man.
Yeah, old man.
Shout out to the NIL.
Oh. All right, you're on the clock. Pick suggestions: Pat Coogan, Fayamore, Kyron Montgomery.
Big Ten. Oh, what's up with that? What are you saying?
I was going to say, do you want to go with the Wake Forest tackle? Don't you need a tackle?
No, we got the tackle. Lomu was the tackle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So now we can go interior. National champ. Covered everything but safety.
Okay, so you want to go Coogan?
Go Coogan. Man.
23. It's allowed.
Sounds like Lomu. Indiana was good, though.
Mm-hmm.
Mendoza clean.
Yeah, I'm up.
You said, Foster, you was going to, get somebody out the Big Ten. Doesn't everybody play in the Big Ten nowadays?
Yeah. You might be playing on the West Coast. Yeah, USC, yeah.
It's about time we just get rid of the old conferences. It was fun while it lasted. Let's just make Conference A and Conference B.
It's going to come down to that.
Yeah. Conference A is the nerd schools, and Conference B is everybody else. So Big Ten and the Ivy League and, some of those other private schools. Y'all go over there. Everybody else come on over here. Michigan, you know where you're going.
For sure.
Let's get a
super nerds.
Packers, Seth McGowan, Marlon Klein, and Keegan Trost are the suggested. Keegan Trost, interior O-line. If we got them, we got them 1, we got them 2. Offensive tackle, cornerback, defensive tackle.
Really feel like they really need a quarterback.
Well, that they do. I agree. They need a backup. Baylor's QB.
Diego Pavia. I kind of like that kind of wild card in that quarterback room. That would be kind of interesting. Put them on Hard Knocks. I want to see a Pavia show.
Okay, here you go. Detroit, Seth McGowan, Cyrus Allen, wide receiver, Cincinnati, Keegan Trost, interior O-line.
Well, who was the top running back?
Davian.
Seth McGowan. Kentucky.
We'll grab the running back. 20 vote.
There you go. Cole Wisniewski, safety, Texas Tech. Egan Trost, interior line, Missouri. Caleb Douglas.
Wisniewski.
Yeah. You want one, Wisniewski?
Yeah, we'll take the safety. Now we've covered all our bases.
Woohoo. He's 6'3", good size. He's been on a lot of mocks. There you go again. Jordan Hudson, wide receiver. Kobe Baines, interior line. Dick Boyerett, South Carolina defensive tackle.
We did not get
suggested
defensive tackle. It's time for a receiver. We can get a receiver here.
Jordan Hudson, Smoo. Got Caleb Douglas, Texas Tech.
Was it Douglas?
Douglas is the top wide receiver in their rankings.
Then, yeah, Caleb Douglas.
Minnesota has back-to-backs.
Study long, study wrong, Dave. This right here holds a lot of weight on your draft.
Make a break right here.
Do not mess up these back-to-back picks in the 7th round.
I need to go.
This can set your franchise back 5 years.
Figs telling me Navy boy Heinrich. It's tight end, if I remember correctly. Let's see. Why is he not showing up? Okay.
Kind of thought the Third Reich failed, so maybe he's no longer around.
Well, he's not the third. He's the Haydn.
That one failed too, didn't it?
Possibly, yeah.
Blimp.
If we got a tight end, we could use one. There he is. No, that's rare. Green Bay. Nick Brett, defensive tackle. Vincent Anthony Jr. and Marlon Klein are the suggested tight end. Because that's all I've got selected. Okay.
Jordan Hudson.
You want to go that? Or should we go Klein?
I mean, I would assume the Patriots would have drafted that one.
Yeah, defensive tackle. Let's go here.
Didn't one play for the Packers?
That's a solid.
You're up. Okay.
All right.
Tight end, Scooby Williams, linebacker, Jalen McKnight.
How can I overlook somebody named Scooby?
Right.
All right. Who? I want to take a search real fast. Is Jaden Duggar? That's been. Is he still on the board?
He is.
Wow. Ooh.
Look at that.
Decisions. What about Terry Thompson? Look like he's gone. Montgomery. Montgomery. Tyron. He's gone too. No. He's gone. All right. I'm good with Duggar. Let's go ahead and bring Duggar on over to the lakefront.
Okay.
5'2", and if you say you like those big backers, huh?
Yeah.
6'5", 250.
Back in the day, when we ran a lot, you had 6'5", 240, 250 pound backers. All right. You're up again.
Play football.
All
right. There's
Niwa Henderson.
Let's see. No, go back on up to the Kansas guy. Emmanuel Henderson. That's my guy.
Okay.
Bring him home.
Drafted. All right. I'm up. Cool. Green Bay. Let's go. Where's that dude from New Mexico? Keyshawn James, edge. And we got a B. Minnesota gets a B+. And it just graded Minnesota. Here we go. Detroit. B+.
Hey.
That was too bad.
You guys know your stuff.
So, all right. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about today?
I really feel like the Green Bay Packers missed an opportunity to finally solve their quarterback issue in this draft. Hey, we see what they do next Thursday.
Yes, we will. And who's hosting next week?
Me.
I believe it's on me. Oh, no,
it's on you?
You're right. Foster. It's on. No, it's Foster. You're right. My bad. Overstepped. My bad.
Where can they find you, Foster?
Bleachers to Speakers. Google that.
And what do you guys do? What have you got coming up?
We got a Pistons playoff preview. I don't think our playoffs games start till either Sunday or Monday. I've heard both. So got a little break, but you will get a preview of the playoffs before that. We had some breaking news as far as the Tigers are concerned. So we got a show that just dropped not too long ago. But we're there every Sunday recapping the week. And, of course, you can catch us every Wednesday, if nothing else, for NFC North coverage. Draft coming up, so very busy. Yes.
Hey, where can they find you?
Chicago Sports Fan Channel, available anywhere you get your podcasts, and especially on YouTube. Everything is available on YouTube also. Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel.
What teams do you cover?
Cover everything. We're not going to say everything, but we cover a multitude of Chicago-based sports: Bulls, Bears, Sox, Cubs, Illini, Jackie Robinson West.
Hockey?
Try to figure it all out. The who? Oh, the Blackhawks. Oh yeah, they're
Chicago.
We have a guy coming in to do some draft talk for the Blackhawks too. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode. I can't wait to do that.
Cool. All right, and everybody can find me over at Vikings First and Skull. You're right here. We love you, and it's we're glad you joined us. We've got the Real 4-0 show tomorrow, and then we hit Sunday with two old bloggers, which we have Drew Bunting on to give his big board. And Drew is just a fan like us, but he sits there, and from the end of the season until now, he evaluates every single, or almost a lot of, I think he's got 200 players that he evaluates, and he puts together his big board. And his hit rate of drafted in what round, where in what round, is better than you get from draft gurus that everybody listens to on podcast or watches on YouTube or sees on TV. He's just, he's got a gift when it comes to that. And that'll be this Sunday as we get ready for the draft. And then starting Monday, we're in full draft mode. 2 shows a day, including everything's live, including the full live coverage on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, where we go 15 hours worth of broadcast. Good times. All right, folks, what do we say in Chicago?
Bear down.
What we say in Detroit? Foster, come on. One pride.
OP.
Yeah, we hit it. And of course, in Minnesota, we say Skol Vikings. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Like, subscribe, and rate us on your favorite podcast aggregator. Thank you for listening to this NFC North group effort on the Fans First Sports Network. This has been a frustrated Chicago sports fans, Bleachers to Speakers, Vikings First and Skol, and of course, Fans First Sports Network production. Thank you for listening.